Hey guys, Sophia here. This tutorial is going to show you how to do a cool geometric abstract painting. So you're going to need your heavyweight paper. I'm using watercolor paper. Then I'm going to be using gouache, but you can really use any medium that you want, such as watercolor, colored pencil, chalk pastel, acrylic, oil pastel, really any medium that you want. If you're using paints, you obviously need your paintbrushes, a pencil and eraser, a ruler is always handy, and your palette as well. I'm starting by taping off the edges and then lightly sketching out my design. So I'm just going to grab some random circular objects and trace some circles, and then going to make some other random geometric shapes, and I kept changing it until I finally liked the composition. So you can really just add whatever shapes you want in any composition. Try to vary the sizes. And then I'm also going to add this like fern thing as a detail in the foreground as well. And then once you're happy with your sketch, you can start painting in. So I'm starting with the bigger shapes in the background first. And I'm going to be sticking with mostly warm, muted tones. And it's nice to kind of think about your color palette before you start doing it, just so you have an idea of the colors that you want and that it all goes together nicely. And if you're curious about how to mix colors, you can check out my other tutorial about color mixing and theory. So I decided that I want a background color, so I'm testing it out first. And it's definitely easier to do the background color first, but if you decide later that you want a background color like I did, that's totally fine. Just try to paint around your shapes really carefully. However, if you want a darker color for the background and lighter colors for your shapes, then I suggest doing your shapes first and painting the background at the last step, because otherwise it's going to be really hard to get light colors on top of a dark background. So if you're doing a light background, do it first. If you're doing a dark background, do it last. So now I'm going to do my smaller shapes in a darker color, so that that color can go on top of the colors in the background, and they kind of act as nice like accents to the piece. So I'm going to do some smaller circles and smaller random shapes. Now I'm going to add kind of these curvy lines. There's kind of fern plant-like, and it's nice to add like one element that's curved, just to counteract all of the geometric shapes. And then for the finishing touch, I'm just going to add little white dots, kind of just wherever I feel like they should go. And adding like a little bit of white adds nice contrast and highlights. So I definitely recommend just a small white detail at the very end. And don't forget to sign your work. I always practice my signature before I sign the actual piece on a separate piece of paper. Even though I've done my signature a bunch of times, it's still just nice to practice first so you don't mess up. And then I'm going to take the tape off super carefully so I don't rip the paper. And here's my finished product. I hope you had fun with it, and continue to explore some abstract geometric shapes. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.